Hi everybody, my name is Jessie and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you like perfume and also if you enjoy ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. So today I am doing a review of the fragrance called Amazing Grace Magnoila. And this is by the brand Philosophy. I do like the bottle. It's very simple. It's very classic. As you can see, the liquid is pink and the label is also pink. It's got a silver top and a silver atomizer. So pretty simple bottle. This size here is 2 fluid ounces. Yeah, and it says here, Philosophy. Grace will always guide your journey. It's like a little inspirational quote, I guess. So, yeah, I found this fragrance at Ross for only $20. So I think that's a pretty good deal. I know that they sell the Philosophy line at, like, I've seen it at, I think Ulta. It's probably a bit more expensive, but you can definitely find these types of fragrances online, the Philosophy ones. Like, you could probably buy it on Mercari or eBay for pretty affordable. Yeah, so I actually wore this today as my fragrance of the day. I do really like it. I'm not sure that I like it enough to keep it, but I do really like it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and spray it again, and then we can go over the notes together. I also do have one other, it's not a perfume, but it's a, it's like a, what is this? A body, it says a nourishing melt-in body balm. And it is of their scent called Falling in Love, which they do make a perfume version of this. I actually used to have it, but I decided to just keep this because I felt like I didn't need both. But I will briefly tell you about this scent too, since it's the only other Philosophy scent that I have. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spray the Amazing Grace Magnoila. Perfect. We've got a fairy wearing pink, or like an angel wearing pink. So that's good for today's theme. Oh, and of course, as you can see, I dressed on theme. So I've got a pink shirt here. And then I've got these little like bow earrings that are made of fabric, which I thought was good because, I don't know, something about the Amazing Grace I thought just like soft and feminine. So that's the look for today. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray this, and then we can go over the main accords together. Alright, let's give that a moment to dry down. Alright, so I'm going to give this a smell. So this is very fresh. It's kind of citrusy fresh, and it also has a prominent but subtle woodiness coming through, almost like a slightly spicy woodiness. There is no spicy note in here that I could tell, but it almost comes through as like a slightly fresh spiciness. So yeah, so mostly I'm getting floral, citrus, kind of like a almost fresh spicy woodiness. Altogether, it's fairly soft. It's fairly it's, it's pretty. It's not super strong. I feel like this is a great sort of office or business type scent. Like, it's fairly like sophisticated smelling. It's not too sweet, but it's a little sweet. It's a little floral. Definitely fresh. So that's what I get as a first impression. Okay, so next let's go ahead and look at the main accords that are listed on Fragrantica. So first we have floral, citrus, powdery, musky, woody, amber, violet, fresh, spicy, sweet, and fruity. That's interesting. So they do list a fresh, spicy accord. So I didn't notice that at first, but that makes sense. Like I'm saying, I'm getting something just subtly fresh, spicy. Like if there was a pink pepper note in here, which there isn't, that would make sense to me. But it's subtle. So yeah, I'm definitely getting the floral and citrus accords. Most notably, I'm getting a bit of that powdery muskiness, some woodiness, fresh, spicy. That's mostly all I'm getting. I'm not really getting a whole lot else. But yeah. Okay, next let's go ahead and look at the notes that we have. So, okay. So we've got just 2 top notes, and they are both fruity top notes. So the first one that we have is bergamot, and the second one is nectarine. Okay, so I forgot, I didn't realize there was a nectarine note, but obviously that would lend a bit more sweetness, a bit more juiciness. The bergamot is a bit more clean, fresh, bright. I'm definitely getting the bergamot. But I can see the nectarine too. I think it pairs nicely with the kind of floral vibe, like the magnolia. It just adds like a touch more sweetness and kind of like a sheer fruity note. So yeah, I guess I could say I'm getting both of those top notes. Okay, and then for our middle notes, we've got 2 floral notes, and they are magnolia, which is the signature note in here, and then also violet. So violet is a purple, powdery purple floral. So I'm definitely getting magnolia. I'm not always the most familiar with this note, but I feel like I've smelled it enough to say that it does smell like my expectation of magnolia. And then I feel like I'm getting a touch of the violet, but not super strong. So yeah, if you're not a big violet fan, if you're not like big on anything too powdery, I wouldn't worry. To me, this comes off as more fresh and citrusy than like powdery violet. Okay, and then in our base notes, we've got 3 base notes, and they are musk, driftwood, and amber. So I'm definitely getting the musk and the driftwood. Yeah, it's a clean, musky fragrance for sure. A little bit laundry-esque, but not super laundry-esque to me. It doesn't really smell like, it doesn't smell too soapy, just a touch maybe. The driftwood, I feel like, yeah, I'm getting some kind of woodiness. The amber, maybe not so much. That's probably the note that I'm getting least. So yeah, it's funny. They list on Fragrantica the fresh, spicy accord, but there is no note in here that I would think is necessarily giving off that, like a fresh spicy scent. I'm not sure. Let me know if you think you know what it is. Maybe it's a driftwood. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, so anyway, overall I would say I feel like this is it's a fresh floral fragrance. Like, if you're not big on florals, but you're kind of open to something a little more floral, feminine, in like a clean, professional way, this might be one that could work for you. Because it's definitely floral, but it's still pretty inviting. I feel like it's still pretty, crowd pleasing. So, yeah. So I'll just go ahead and briefly touch. Oh, and by the way, this is a flanker to the original Amazing Grace by Philosophy. This is the Magnolia flanker. The original Amazing Grace, I'm looking, and it has notes of musk, citrus notes like bergamot, grapefruit, and orange, and then also floral notes of freesia, jasmine, and rose. So it's like a very clean, musky, fresh floral. I've definitely smelled it before. It's been a bit since I smelled it. I feel like, from my recollection, it's definitely more subtle. So it's more of a, definitely less pronounced of a smell. So really a good scent for something like The Office, or if you're just not wanting to smell too much, but you just want to smell lightly clean and fresh. I would say this one has a little bit more going on, a little bit more floral, a little bit more fruity. Yeah, obviously more magnolia. So yeah. Okay, let's briefly touch on this Falling in Love body cream that I have. So as you can see, it's in this kind of like light blue bottle, and this fragrance, I do really like it. I haven't actually used the cream yet, though. Yeah, it's still closed. I'm gonna leave it closed, but I can smell it. So this is it's like a cloudy, fluffy, kind of slightly sweet vanillic blackberry. So this has a blackberry note in it, and also it's got musk, vanilla, jasmine, and lily of the valley. So the white florals to me come through pretty subtly. I think they just add like a slightly like clean floral freshness, but I mostly get the blackberry, vanilla, and musk, and it comes through in a very like airy, cloudy sort of way. So yeah, I like this one. I think it's fun. I do recall that the perfume did not have the best longevity. So maybe this one will last a little longer because it's like a body cream. So sometimes those last a little longer on the skin at least. But yeah, that's the only other Philosophy fragrance that I have. And obviously this is in the body lotion form. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna put that on later. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish up my review by just going over some other information on the Amazing Grace Magnolia. So I'm on Fragrantica, and I can see that this was launched in 2019. I thought it was around for longer than that because I know that the Amazing Grace has been around for a long time, I think. So I thought this was around for longer than 2019, but I guess not. It has an overall rating of 3.98 out of 5 with 175 votes. So that's a pretty good rating. Tells me that people like it. And let's see. The longevity is being rated as a little on the weaker side, like maybe a 3 or 4 out of 10. I did wear this today, and I do feel like I can hardly smell it on my shirt. It's been about 5 or so hours, and I can hardly smell it, and that's kind of rare for me at this point since I'm still pregnant and my senses are just more heightened. So yeah, so probably not the best longevity. Sillage, people are saying, is on the more intimate end. I do think it's fairly subtle. That's why I said I think it would be great for the office. As long as you're in a workspace where you're like, it's okay to wear fragrance, I feel like people would smell this on you, but it would be very subtle, clean, a bit of like a clean laundry vibe, but a bit more elevated than that, and a bit more floral, I would say. Okay, and then for gender, people are saying that it's more so on the feminine side, but like not super feminine. I think it's pretty feminine to me. Yeah, to me it's pretty feminine, but it's, you know, I guess that slightly spiciness to me makes it a little bit more, a little bit less feminine, I suppose. And then price value, people are saying pretty good value. Yeah, I bet you could find this online for $20 somewhere. So obviously you could find it at like Ross or Marshall's or something like that. Okay, what else? Let's just go ahead and read a couple reviews. Somebody says, safe, simple, and beautiful floral brings me joy. That makes sense. Somebody says, this is like the most generic floral perfume smell ever. Like if you had to imagine a stereotypical women's perfume, this is what it would be. Just not exciting at all, which some people prefer. Okay. Somebody else says, this was one of my first fragrances. I enjoyed it then, but now I really do not like the sharp opening. I must add that I'm not really a fresh, musky, powdery citrus person, and I'm picky about florals. To me, this fragrance feels quite young, very suitable for a teen or someone in their early 20s. To me, I do not read this as young. I just read it as, simple, classic, elegant, but in like an innocent way. It's not pushing the limits at all. But I actually don't read it as young, because a lot of times when I think of young, I think of a little more sweet and more vanilla, more like attention grabbing. And this to me is like pretty just like classic. But anyway, that's what that person thinks. Let's see, one more. Let's read one more review. Somebody says, opening is inoffensive flowers, but then there's something about this that smells like a sweet cigar, which really caught me by surprise. I found the sweet cigar lingers and clashes with the spring/summer vibe. I am brand loyal to Philosophy, but this one is just off my wants list. It's not the refreshing citrus floral I thought it would be. Yeah, maybe they're talking about that kind of like a little bit of spiciness that I was talking about coming through. Yeah, maybe that's what they're catching. I think it is. I don't know where that's coming from. I really don't, but It's subtle. I don't mind it. But yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, overall, I would say could be a good one to try. Fairly simple, nothing groundbreaking about it, but I feel like this would probably be a safe-ish blind buy, safe-ish gift for someone. Maybe if you already have tried the Amazing Grace and you like it, this might be one to try. Yeah, so that is my review of Philosophy's Amazing Grace Magnolia. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I'm sending you all peace and love and harmony and beauty, and I will catch you all again soon. Okay, bye.